talk in England generally, other than with India, has been, would you rather win the Ashes or would you rather win the World Cup? Everyone's been asking this. That's your standard vox pop. Now here is a strange one. You've got to do both. If you've got to win this rivalry, it's pretty much one more step towards winning a World Cup. Another one for Australia, a first one for England.
And I'm sure that's why there is a lot of excitement around this game, because it's, Ashes, yes, Australia and England, it's huge. It's like India, Pakistan to a certain degree with regard to cricket. You know, these rivalries are very famous and has a history, a long history of it. So when Australia is playing England, you know, that excitement is surely going to be there. That yes, Ashes is a separate discussion altogether, but here it's like mini Ashes of sorts. You know, so before they reach the finals, I think they will even if they lose in the finals, you know, they'll be saying, okay, we beat Australia in the semis. Yeah. That's the kind of attitude English supporters will have for sure. The match is played in Birmingham on home soil, so that adds to that extra bit of support as well. So you will get to see that as well. The energy on in the stands will be good. There will be a lot of support for England. And I think you know, for us to see a final which is going to be of sure shot new World Cup winner, you know, you want England to win, isn't it? Yep. Australia has had their fill. They've won 5 World Cups. Now I think it's time England continue that momentum what they've gotten in the semis from those two important wins when there was a lot of pressure. You would expect them to deal with that pressure in the semis as well. And even though they've lost the toss, I feel England surely will look at it as, on the hindsight, may not be a bad toss to lose because they will be making use of the fresh wicket. Jofra will be running in hard. Vokes, if there is a little bit of help in the wicket, can be effective. They've gone in with the same team to keep this the momentum of the league phase going. So all in all, hope that that first hour goes England's way.
Yes, that's the England team, as I said, absolutely unchanged. 2 massive wins. I mean, now in the context of seeing New Zealand in the final, they've beaten India and New Zealand in their run-up to getting there after a loss. Now, the difference between the India-New Zealand semi-final and this one is, this is actually a repeat game. India and New Zealand never actually ended up meeting in the league stage, thanks to the rain. So it was a first-time meeting between those two sides, but England and Australia did meet once in this tournament on the 25th of June at Lord's. And this is what happened. Australia, again on that occasion, batted first and got 285 for 7, and England, who haven't had a great time chasing in this tournament, were well behind, 221 all out. They've enjoyed setting totals in this tournament, as have many other teams, particularly in this half.
They have, and you know, in that game, what was different from the other games was that it was Jason Barrendorf's, I think, first or second game in the World Cup. So that factor is not going to surprise England anymore. They're going to have a contention plan against him and all the other bowlers as well. But I think what will be important for England will be the way they start off today. You know, I think again, I'm going to repeat what I've been saying over the last week, is that the first 10 overs is going to be very critical in which direction this match is going to go. You know, I think the first 10 overs, if England can get a couple of wickets in that first 10, not allow that opening partnership to be more than 15 runs, 15-20 runs, they'll put themselves in a great position to win the game. Because you can see that the middle order hasn't really fired outside of Alex Carey. Stephen Smith has tapered off. Peter Handscomb is coming into his first game in the World Cup. They've had injuries. So that middle order is not looking very sharp. So if they can crack that opening partnership, then they've got one foot in the door.
But they certainly have. On the other side of the coin, Australia seem to have something when it comes to World Cup semi-finals. They've never lost a World Cup semi-final. Have a look at this record. The only one that is technically why it's not showing 7-7 is because they actually progressed in 1999 at the same venue, Birmingham, in that famous tied game, which of course allowed them to go through to the final and win one of their 5 World Cups. For England, a very different record. So that really puts them in a slight advantageous position if you look at history.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, Australia at the moment before the start of the game has that upper hand. They won the toss as well now, batting first. The record in this tournament itself suggests that, teams batting first have had that advantage. So that advantage is always there. But what I like to see from England right now in this game, the thing which they've not done against Australia in the previous match, where when the first spell of the match, both the bowlers were a bit conservative in their approach. They were not thinking wickets. I think if England goes in and starts this game having lost the toss now, goes in with the attitude of picking wickets, I think that will help them in a great way, setting the tone for the match. And if that happens, then that advantage will shift from Australia to England, because you can see that the over dependence on that start has been very evident right through and through. So suddenly in a crucial match, similar thing happened with India as well. That top order has been so consistent, and suddenly your worst nightmare comes true in a crucial stage, and that pressure, how are you going to deal with, because you've not equipped in dealing with that kind of pressure. So similarly with these two teams, their opening stands have been good. Now England has been having that upward curve, wherein Australia has been having that downward curve as they moved into the semis. So that's going to be interesting thing. So the advantage with Australia at the moment before the start of the match, but that advantage can really slip very quickly with no time if England walks in with that kind of approach which we were talking about.